The stone egg in the middle of the white world finally broke apart with a noise that sounded like a planet cracking in half. It was a loud, sharp sound that echoed forever in the empty space. For 500 years, Son Goku had been sleeping inside that hard shell. He had been letting his power cook inside him like a star trapped in a jar. When the shell shattered, it did not fall to the ground like normal rock. Instead, the pieces turned into thick, dark grey smoke. The smoke filled the room. It swirled around like a storm. In the center of the smoke, a figure stood up. It was Goku. But he did not look like the hero who saved the Earth so many times. He stood up very slowly. His movements were stiff, like a machine that had not been used in a long time. His hair was very long. It reached all the way down to his legs. It was thick and wild, but it was not the bright yellow of a Super Saiyan. It was not the blue of a god. It was black. It was a black so deep and dark that it looked like it was made of shadows. It seemed to eat the light around it. His skin was pale, almost white, because he had not seen the sun in 1,000 years. His muscles were hard and dense, looking more like carved stone than human flesh. Goku opened his eyes. This was the scariest part. His eyes were no longer the warm, friendly black eyes of his youth. They were not the silver eyes of the angels either. They were a cold, flat grey. They looked like the sky before a terrible storm. They looked like dead iron. There was no kindness in them. There was no mercy. There was only a deep, endless emptiness. He took a breath. The air in the time chamber was stale and dry. He did not cough. He just let the air fill his lungs. He felt his heart beat. Thump, thump. It was slow. It beat once every minute. His body had become so efficient that it did not need to work hard to stay alive. He was a perfect biological weapon. He looked at his hands. He turned them over. He looked at his palms. He clenched his fists. He felt the power rushing through his veins. It was not a hot, burning power like before. It was a cold, heavy power. It felt like the pressure of the deep ocean. It was a power born from silence and loneliness. He was 1,000 years old in his mind now. He tried to remember things. He tried to remember the taste of a good meal. He tried to remember the feeling of grass on his feet. He could not. Those memories were gone. They were like dreams he had a long time ago. He only remembered one thing clearly. He remembered the door closing. He remembered the face of his friend Vegeta. He remembered the blast that destroyed the exit. That memory was sharp. It was clear. It was the only thing that kept him warm in the cold. Goku walked across the white floor. He walked toward a specific spot in the air. It was the spot where he had punched the dimension hundreds of years ago. There was a crack there. It was purple and jagged. It was about the size of a man's arm now. It was a wound in the universe. Goku leaned close to the crack. He sniffed. He could smell the outside world. He smelled the ozone of the atmosphere. He smelled the salt of the sea. But mostly, he smelled fear. He could feel the vibrations of billions of lives. He could hear their heartbeats. Thump, thump, thump. Billions of tiny hearts beating on Earth and other planets. To the old Goku, this sound was beautiful. It was the sound of life he wanted to protect. But to this new Goku, it was annoying. It was just noise. It was the sound of ungrateful insects. He reached his hand out. He pushed his fingers into the purple crack. The energy of the dimension barrier was violent. It sizzled and popped. It burned his skin. Smoke rose from his fingers. His skin turned black and peeled away. The muscle burned. The bone turned to ash. But Goku did not pull his hand back. He did not scream. He did not even blink. He just watched. He watched his hand disintegrate. Then, the magic of the Dragon Balls kicked in. The immortality wish worked. His bones grew back white and strong. His muscle knit together like red yarn. His skin covered the muscle. The hand was new again. Then the energy burned it again. Burn and heal. Burn and heal. Goku did this on purpose. He needed to feel pain. He needed to make sure he was still real. The pain was the only friend he had left. It made him feel alive. It made him feel angry. And he needed the anger. The anger was his fuel. Meanwhile, on the outside, on planet Earth, things were very different. Time had passed, but not 1,000 years. Only about 20 years had passed since the battle with the goat wizard Moro. But 20 years is a long time for humans and Saiyans. The world was tired. The heroes were tired. Gohan was an old man now. He stood on top of the lookout. The wind blew his clothes. He wore glasses because his eyes were not as good as they used to be. His hair had grey streaks on the sides. He looked at the empty space where the door to the time chamber used to be. He held a small machine in his hand. It was a scanner that Bulma had made before she retired. The screen on the scanner was glowing red. The needle was shaking back and forth wildly. Gohan frowned. He adjusted his glasses. Dende walked up behind him. Dende was the guardian of Earth. He was a Namekian. He looked much older too. His skin was wrinkled and loose. He walked with a cane. Dende looked worried. He asked Gohan what the machine said. Gohan tapped the screen. He said that the readings were bad. He said the space around the chamber was getting thin. It was like a piece of paper that had been erased too many times. It was about to tear. Gohan said he felt something pushing from the other side, something heavy, something dark. Dende shivered. He looked at the sky. He told Gohan that the oracle fish had a nightmare last night. The fish woke up screaming. It said that the king of the void was waking up. It said that the debt of the past was coming to be collected. Suddenly, the sky changed. It was a sunny day, but in 1 second the blue sky turned a sickly purple. The clouds turned black. A loud thunderclap shook the entire planet. It was not normal thunder. It sounded like a giant beast roaring. The lookout shook violently. Tiles fell from the roof of the temple. Dende fell to his knees. Gohan had to use his Kai just to stay standing. He looked up. A giant hole ripped open in the sky above the lookout. It was not the crack Goku made. This was something else. This was an invasion. From the black hole a figure floated down. He was tall and very thin. He looked like a shadow that had come to life. He wore dark purple robes that were torn and ragged. His skin was blue and pale. He had 2 long horns on his head. His eyes glowed like burning coals. He carried a long staff made of old bones. This was Shura. He was a demon king from the dark demon realm. He had been watching Earth for a long time. He waited for Goku to disappear. He waited for Vegeta to get old. He waited until the Earth was weak. Now, he was here. Shura landed on the tiles of the lookout. His feet did not make a sound. He looked at Gohan. He looked at Dende. He smiled. His mouth was full of sharp yellow teeth. He spoke, and his voice sounded like dry leaves crunching under a boot. He said he was happy to see the famous protectors of Earth were so pathetic. He said the era of light was over. Now the era of darkness would begin. He said he would turn Earth into his new castle. He would enslave every human. He would eat their souls for dinner. Gohan stepped forward. He felt fear, but he pushed it down. He was the son of Goku. He was a warrior. He dropped the scanner. He clenched his fists. He started to power up. "Ha!" he shouted. A white aura flared around him. It was his ultimate form, but the aura was flickering. It was not a raging fire like before. It was like a dying candle. Gohan was past his prime. His back hurt. His knees hurt. He had not trained hard in years because there was peace. He launched himself at Shura. He moved fast, but not fast enough. He threw a punch aimed at Shura's face. Shura did not even dodge. He just raised one hand. He caught Gohan's fist. Smack. The sound was humiliating. Shura held Gohan's fist like it was a toy. He squeezed. Gohan gritted his teeth. He could feel his bones grinding together. "Is this it?" Shura asked. "Is this the power that defeated Cell? Is this the power that defeated Buu?" Shura laughed. He twisted Gohan's arm. Gohan shouted in pain. Shura kicked Gohan in the stomach. The kick was so hard, it sent shockwaves through Gohan's body. Gohan flew backward. He smashed into the stone wall of the temple. He slid down, coughing up blood. Dende raised his hand. "Stop!" he yelled. He tried to use his magic to heal Gohan from a distance. A soft green light appeared, but Shura pointed his bone staff at Dende. A beam of dark purple energy shot out. It hit Dende in the chest. Dende flew back and hit a pillar. He slumped over unconscious. The Guardian was down. Gohan was down. Shura stood in the center of the lookout, laughing at the silence. Far below, in West City, Vegeta was sitting in his garden. He was an old man. His hair was still spiky, but it was not black. It was grey. His face had deep lines. He was wearing a thick jacket because he felt the cold easily now. He was drinking tea. The cup started to rattle in his hand. He felt the energy shift. He felt the dark presence on the lookout. He felt Gohan's energy drop. Vegeta stood up. His joints popped. He put the cup down. It spilled. He did not care. He looked up at the purple sky. He knew what was happening. He knew there was no one else. Goku was gone. Broly was far away in space. The other Z fighters were too old or too weak. It was up to him. "Damn it," Vegeta whispered. "Not like this. I will not let it end like this." He closed his eyes. He reached deep inside himself. He tried to find the fire. He tried to find the pride. He ignited his Kai. A purple flame appeared around him. It was Ultra Ego. But the flame was small. It was unstable. His body could not handle the stress of the God power anymore. But he pushed it. He forced it. He roared at the sky. He took off. He flew toward the lookout. He flew as fast as his old body could go. The wind hit his face. He remembered the old days. He remembered flying with Nappa. He remembered fighting on Namek. He felt a tear in his eye. He brushed it away. He was the prince. He would not cry. Vegeta landed on the lookout with a crash. He landed between Shura and Gohan. He stood tall. He panted for breath. His heart was hammering in his chest. Shura looked at him. Shura smiled. He recognized Vegeta. He said he remembered seeing Vegeta begging on his knees before Beerus. He called Vegeta a servant. He called him a fake prince. Vegeta did not talk. He attacked. He launched a barrage of energy blasts. Boom, boom, boom. The explosions covered the lookout in smoke. But Shura just walked through the smoke. Not a scratch on him. Shura swung his bone staff. It hit Vegeta in the side. Crack. Vegeta felt his ribs break. He fell to one knee. He spat blood. He tried to punch Shura's leg. Shura stepped on Vegeta's hand. He crushed it into the tiles. Vegeta screamed. Shura kicked Vegeta in the face. Vegeta rolled backward. He stopped when his back hit a wall. It was the wall. The blank white wall where the door to the time chamber used to be. Vegeta sat there. He was beaten. He could not stand up. One eye was swollen shut. He looked at Gohan, who was unconscious. He looked at Shura, who was walking toward him to finish the job. Vegeta felt total despair. He realized that this was his fault. If Goku was here, they would win. If Goku was here, They would be safe. But he had betrayed Goku. He had locked him away because he was scared. And now the fear had come true anyway. Vegeta turned his head. He looked at the white wall. He placed his bloody hand on the cold stone. He started to cry. The tears mixed with the blood on his face. He whispered to the wall. "Kakarot," Vegeta choked out. "I am sorry. I messed up. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was saving the universe. But I just doomed us all. I am so sorry, brother. Please, forgive me." Inside the time chamber, in the endless grey fog, Goku stood still. He had his ear turned toward the purple crack. He heard everything. The vibration of Vegeta's voice traveled through the dimension. He heard the apology. He heard the tears. Goku's face did not change. He did not smile. He did not look sad. He looked bored. He walked to the crack. He put his mouth close to it. He spoke. His voice traveled through the wall. It did not sound like a human voice. It sounded like two mountains grinding together. "Sorry?" Goku's voice boomed on the lookout. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. "You are sorry?" Vegeta froze. Shura froze. Gohan, who was waking up, froze. They looked at the wall. The wall was vibrating. Dust was falling from it. "Sorry is a word for weak people," Goku's voice said. It was cold. It was cruel. "You killed Son Goku a long time ago, Vegeta. You locked him in a box and let him die. I am not him. I am what you made." Shura looked at the wall. He was confused. He sensed a massive energy behind that wall. It was bigger than anything he had ever felt. It was bigger than the gods. Shura was arrogant. He thought he was the strongest. He walked to the wall. He saw the purple crack. He saw the energy leaking out. "Who is hiding in there?" Shura mocked. "Are you a ghost? Come out and face your new king." Shura made a mistake, a fatal mistake. He poked his bone staff into the crack. He wanted to pry it open. He wanted to see who was talking. As soon as the staff entered the crack, Goku moved. Inside the chamber, Goku saw the bone staff enter his world. He grabbed it. His hand moved faster than light. He grabbed the staff with a grip that could crush diamonds. Outside, Shura felt the staff stop. He tried to pull it back. It would not move. It was stuck. "What?" Shura said. Then a hand shot out of the crack. It was a terrifying hand. It was pale and scarred. The fingernails were black and sharp like claws. The hand grabbed Shura's wrist. Shura screamed. The hand was hot. It burned Shura's skin. The grip was impossible. It crushed the bones in Shura's wrist instantly. "I'm not hiding," Goku's voice growled from the wall. "I am waiting." Goku pulled. He did not yank. He just pulled steadily. Shura tried to fly away. He flared his dark aura. He dug his feet into the tiles, but he was sliding toward the wall. He could not stop it. It was like fighting gravity. It was like fighting a black hole. "Let go of me," Shura shrieked. He blasted the hand with energy. The energy hit Goku's arm. The skin burned off, revealing red muscle. But the hand did not let go. The skin grew back in seconds. Shura watched in horror. He realized he was dealing with a monster. Vegeta watched with his one good eye. He saw the hand. He knew that hand. He had shaken that hand 1,000 times, but now it looked like a demon's claw. "Kakarot," Vegeta whispered in fear. Goku's other hand shot out of the crack. It punched through the stone wall like it was wet paper. It grabbed Shura by the throat. Now Shura was trapped. Two hands held him. Goku pulled harder. He was dragging Shura through the crack. The crack was small. It was only big enough for an arm. Shura's body was too big. "No, no, I won't fit," Shura screamed. "You will fit," Goku said. Goku pulled with a violent jerk. There was a sickening crunching sound. Shura's shoulder collapsed. His ribs folded. His body was squeezed and crushed as he was dragged through the tiny hole in reality. Blood sprayed all over the lookout. It splashed on Vegeta's face. Shura's screams were cut short as he was pulled completely into the time chamber. The purple crack snapped shut. The wall was smooth again. Shura was gone. Silence fell on the lookout. The wind whistled. Vegeta sat there trembling. Gohan stared at the wall, his mouth open. They were safe. The enemy was gone. But they did not feel safe. They felt a terror deeper than death. They realized that the thing inside the box was infinitely worse than the thing outside. Inside the time chamber, Shura fell onto the white floor. He was a broken mess. His arm was twisted backward. His chest was crushed. He coughed up purple blood. He tried to crawl away. He looked up. Standing over him was the God Killer. Goku stood tall, his long black hair floating in the grey energy. He looked down at Shura. He did not look angry. He looked curious, like a child looking at a bug he had just pulled the legs off of. "Welcome," Goku said. His voice was soft now. "It has been lonely here. I needed a new toy." Shura looked into Goku's grey eyes. He saw the abyss. He saw 1,000 years of madness. "Please," Shura begged. "I am a king. You cannot do this." Goku tilted his head. "King?" he asked. "There are no kings here. There is only me, and you, and time." Goku reached down and grabbed Shura's broken leg. He lifted the demon up. Shura tried to cast a spell. Goku squeezed the leg, shattering the bone into dust. Shura screamed. "I have a lot of new techniques," Goku said. "I practice them on myself, but it hurts when I do it to myself. I want to see how it looks on you." Goku raised his other hand. He formed a small ball of grey energy. It crackled with the power of the Fallen Saiyan. He pressed the ball into Shura's chest. It didn't explode. It sank into his body. It started to eat Shura from the inside out. Shura howled in agony. "Don't worry," Goku said. "I won't let you die. I know how to heal people too. We are going to have fun for a long time." Goku dragged the screaming demon across the white floor, walking further into the endless void. He was going to spend the next few centuries breaking Shura apart, piece by piece, until he understood exactly how to break a god. Back on the lookout, Vegeta finally moved. He tried to stand up, but he fell back down. He looked at Gohan. Gohan looked back. They didn't say anything. They didn't need to. They both knew the truth. Vegeta looked at his bloody hand, the hand that had touched the wall, the hand that had betrayed his best friend. "He is coming," Vegeta whispered. "He is not just strong. He is evil." Gohan took off his broken glasses. He wiped the blood from his eyes. "That wasn't my dad," Gohan said. "That was something else." "We have to prepare," Vegeta said. "We have to warn Beerus. We have to warn everyone." "Warn them?" Gohan laughed, the hollow, hopeless laugh. "Did you feel that grip? Did you see that power? There is no warning. When he gets out, we are all dead." Vegeta looked at the sky. The purple hole was closing. The sun was coming back, but the world felt darker than ever. He knew that Shura was just an appetizer. The main course was still cooking in the oven, and the chef was a madman who used to be Earth's greatest hero. The camera zooms out from the lookout, showing the Earth, then the solar system, then the galaxy. In the center of the universe, there is a tiny white speck, a locked room. And inside that room, a monster is smiling. Watch the next episode to see how the Grand Priest discovers the disturbance in the timeline and decides to intervene, not knowing he is walking into a trap.